Alright, Brush Monkeys, welcome back. And this week we're starting in on the Pathfinder Deep Cuts Silver Dragon. And this was put out by WizKids, the same people that did the Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures. But this is a dragon. I haven't done a dragon in a while, and I'm really digging this guy. Got a lot of detail, a lot of scales in there, a lot of really fine detail, a lot of fine detail on the wings. I mean, oh my god, look at these wings. These wings look amazing. However, along with a lot of fine detail, there also comes a lot of mold lines that got to be cleaned up. So I got all my stuff out to clean up the mold lines, and I've also kind of selected the palette for this guy. But the this is going to be a two-part video. The first part is the cleanup and assembly, priming, and then the base coats of it. If I could stop hitting my camera rig. And the second part is doing the glazing on the belly and the wings, doing the I'm going to be using this thing called Dragon Scale Wax, which is something a lot of you younger painters haven't seen because this hasn't been made for many years. This stuff was made by Raul Partha back in the day, and it was called Dragon Scale Wax, and basically all it is it's essentially metallic eyeshadow in it's basically the same kind of stuff in these little stackable containers. And you got different colors, and what these do is you take an applicator, just like an eyeshadow applicator, like one of these little things, and you rub it on the Dragon Scale Wax, and then you're essentially dry brushing the figure with this metallic wax, and it highlights all the edges of the scales, and it looks really amazing. It looks really fantastic. And like I said, we're going to get into that next week when we go to get deep into the painting. But yeah, that's going to be the plan for it. I've got my notebook out with the plan of how I'm going to do all this, and so we'll just be following that. But for right now, like I said, I wanted to get into unboxing and priming and cleaning this thing up a little bit. And one note I should make here is this is cast out of resin, and the great thing about the resin is if something needs to be repositioned, you can do that. Case in point, this tail was actually almost flat against this rock, just running right along here. I heated this up with a heat gun last night, just very carefully, had the heat gun on low, just waving it back and forth across it, and then when it got warm enough, I just kind of bent the tail out away from the body, held it in place, and ran it under cold water, and that reset it in this new position. And the good thing about this is it allows me to not only easily paint both sides of the tail, which I couldn't do before, but it also allows me to get at this rock, which again I couldn't do before because of the tail being in the way. So yeah, that, and then because of that, I'm going to put them kind of slightly off center on the base because it's going to be balanced in. There's been a lot of talk on videos I've seen online of having trouble putting the wings on. That one's a little bit tricky, but it fits in pretty nicely. This other one goes in pretty nicely too, so it ends up looking like that. But the thing I noticed is once you get the wings on, it's kind of forward heavy. It kind of wants to tip over. So I'm going to have to clean up the wings and everything and then glue it to the base like that. And then proceed from there. Because it kind of cracks me up that it wants to fall over with the wings on. But like I said, I've got a lot of cleaning up to do, and this is not the base that it came with. This is a Games Workshop base, and I've got some cool basing ideas for that too. It's gonna be included in the cleanup process here. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off and get to cleaning that up and putting them together, and then we'll head over and get them primed up. All right. So I will see you soon. Bye. All right, Brush Monkeys, we got the Silver Dragon all cleaned up and assembled, and he's looking pretty badass. So now the next step is going to be priming him, and I'm going to be priming him with the airbrush. The next 3 steps actually are going to be airbrush. I'm going to be priming him with the Badger Badger Stynylrez black primer, and then his base coat is going to be Vallejo liquid metal steel airbrush color here. This is a nice dark metallic color. And then I'm going to shade wash him with Nuln Oil, again, all through the airbrush. And then when we finish that, when the Nuln Oil dries, he'll get a dry brush of Citadel Necron Compound. Kind of brighten up those highlights, and really make them look silver as opposed to just, metallic black. So I'm going to go ahead and move the camera and go do that with the airbrush. Actually, take that back. I'm not going to move the camera. I'm just going to do the updates as I finish each step. So I will see you in a bit. Bye. Alright, brush monkeys. We've got the dragon all nice and primered up. As you can see, he's looking all spiff. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit him with the Vallejo liquid steel here. Also through the airbrush, and then Nuln Oil through the airbrush. So I'm going to go ahead and put this base coat on. Obviously, I don't need to do the rock and the base in this. Just need to get the dragon. So this will go by a little bit faster than the primer step did. But I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, hit that, and then we'll come back and take a look at them. Alright? See you soon. Alright, brush monkeys. He is painted all nice and metalled up. And it looks really good. I gotta say, this is one of my favorite metallic paints, and it goes on so smooth through the airbrush, and it looks so fantastic. I just absolutely love this color. And it's a nice dark metallic silver color, so it makes a good good base coat for this kind of thing. I almost don't need to shade wash this guy, but I'm going to anyway. I'm going to give this a few minutes to dry, and then while I clean out the airbrush, and I'm going to go take a break, and then when I come back, we'll hit it with the Nuln Oil, and then we'll go on from there, alright? Alright, see you soon. Alright, brush monkeys. The shade wash is done, and he is looking all nice and dark and metallic. And that is the last base coat I can do with the airbrush. I came back over to the bench to do the rest. I still need to base coat the rock and the base. The base is going to be done with basic dirt, Reaper Master Series paint, basic dirt, and then the rock is going to be Citadel Xandri dust. And once I get the base done, then I'm going to coat it with a mix of a Growling Earth and a Growling Badlands. Just kind of differentiate it out a little bit. And then the whole thing will be washed with Agrax Earthshade and dried with Tyrant Skull. But that's a little ways down the line yet. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and pause this and go dry brush the dragon. Alright? So I will be right back. See you soon. Alright, brush monkeys, we're back, and we have the dragon all nice and dry brushed, so he's looking spiffy again. Got the rock painted, got the base coated. So the next step on the base is going to be painting it in white glue, and then painting the crackle medium on there, the Growling Earth and the Growling Badlands. That's all going to wait until the next video. Right now, this video is mostly about the cleanup and assembly, priming, and base coats, that's done now. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and next week we'll get into the glazes we're going to do. I'm going to do a blue glaze on the flesh of the wings here, in between these spines, front and back. I'm going to do a green glaze along the underbelly here, And then the details, like his eyes, his horns, the inside of his mouth, his claws, teeth, all these little spines on the end of his wings. And then let me see what else needs to be done. Oh, the basing. Basing's a big part of that, and finishing him up. So yeah, he's looking pretty stiff. You know, it was a quick little base coat job, but I really like how he turned out. So I was busy admiring him, just realized he was off camera. So yeah, so far so good. So I'm going to wrap that up for part 1, and then join us next week for part 2 when we finish this guy up. All right, see you then. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. If you like what you see, click like down below. Click the subscribe button if you want to see more and want to be notified when new videos come out. Check out the links in the video description for links to our Patreon page and our Instagram, so you can see all the different ways that you can support me in doing what I do, and get your hands on some of these miniatures that I've painted if you want one of your own. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook if you want to see updates and see when new videos get posted. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks a lot. Bye.